Welcome back. Today we are absolutely vibrating with energy because we are tackling something that has probably been living rent-free in your brain. For what? The last 10 days.
Oh yeah, it's a project that has started finding its people.
You know the tune. You might have hummed it waiting for coffee. And you have seen the video. We are talking about a song that's quietly resonating. Hey Money, Don't Be Mean. By the artist Elijah, posted on the channel AI Screensmith.
It is so undeniably sticky. I think I heard it this morning. It's like a small story that feels bigger than its numbers.
Exactly. And here's the thing, and this is why we do what we do. It's so easy to write this off. You scroll past it, maybe you tap like, and you just file it away as another fleeting trend.
Sure.
But when you actually sit down with the materials, we've got the music video, the lyrics, and this fascinating documentary-style account of his journey called Elijah's Electric Dream. You realize this isn't just a jingle.
No, it's a perfect case study. It's the modern underdog to superstar pipeline in action.
It really is.
I'd even go a step further. It's not just a case study. It's almost a fable. It's a classic hero's journey, but just compressed into, the speed of the internet.
It's about dreams, fate, and that really, really relatable struggle of being ambitious, but just completely broke.
The brokenness is the key. That's the hook.
It is. So our mission today is to analyze this whole storyline, break down why the video is such a good watch like, what makes the entertainment quotient so high, and really trace the journey from a cluttered garage to this polished release.
And we have some great sources to do that. We have the lyrics, which we need to decode a bit.
Oh, we do.
We also have the visual language of the video and that Elijah's Electric Dream narrative, which gives us the backstory. You just don't get it from hearing the track on its own.
Okay, so before we get into the heavy analysis, let's just ground ourselves in the vibe. If you haven't heard the chorus yet, first of all, wow.
I'm impressed.
But secondly, just listen to the plea here. It's not angry, it's not punk rock, it's just asking for a break.
Hey, money, don't be mean. All I need is a garage, guitar, and a bag of bean.
Hey, money, don't be mean.
Wow. I mean,
I feel like I say that to my banking app every time I open it.
it's such a universal sentiment personifying money as this bully.
Yeah.
But let's rewind before we get to the catchy chorus and the fame. We have to look at the before picture.
Okay, where does this all start?
According to that Elijah's Electric Dream narrative, he wasn't some industry darling. He was a helper in a local store.
Right. And the story describes a really interesting perspective. It starts with a narrator, just some random person walking by, who spots Elijah on the sidewalk.
And this description really caught my eye. The narrator says, Elijah looked like he was juggling with myriad thoughts.
Juggling with myriad thoughts. That's such a specific way to put it.
It is. It paints this picture of someone who is physically there on the sidewalk, but mentally, he is miles away.
Kind of dissociated. Have you ever seen that look on someone?
Absolutely. It's that, how am I going to make rent stare? It's the look of just cognitive load. The narrator admits it's a guess. They didn't know him then, but they saw someone who looked like he was about to fade in oblivion.
That is a terrifying thought. The idea that you could just fade, but then bam, a week later, that same face is everywhere.
On your phone screen, all over social media.
And that's where the fascination starts. The narrator realizes that the guy he saw on the sidewalk, this invisible helper, was actually on the edge of something huge.
But what was he actually doing on that sidewalk? This is the core conflict of the story. The dream deferred.
The narrator describes him standing outside a music store window.
And this is such a classic trope, right? The kid looking into the candy shop.
Totally.
But it's for a musician. He's staring at this gleaming electric guitar. In the story, it's not just an object. It's shining as a symbol of a dream.
And here comes the reality check, the heartbreaking part. He reaches into his pocket.
He reaches for the greens. I love that slang.
Greens is so tactile.
He grabs the greens, counts them up, but his face just falls. The narrator says the meager sum fell short of his dream.
And the guitar stays in the window.
That is a feeling I think everyone has felt. You want the thing, you check your pockets, and the math just isn't mapping.
Right. And usually that's where people give up. They go home, watch TV, forget about it. But not Elijah.
No. And this is where we see the shift from just being a dreamer to being a hustler. He didn't just wish for it. The narrator details the actual, austerity measures he took.
He stopped taking the bus.
He chose to walk everywhere to save the fare. A penny saved, as the text puts it.
That's physically exhausting, though. Yeah, just to save a couple of bucks.
It is, but it shows the commitment. And he wasn't just saving, he was earning, working the store on weekdays, but the weekends were for busking.
Penny saved was complemented by penny earned.
Exactly. He's on the street corner on his days off just playing his heart out. It's that old school work ethic meeting a new school dream.
We actually have a clip that captures that exact feeling. Looking in the window, being on the outside, looking in. Let's listen to the first verse.
Walking through the music store, listening as the rhythms soar. Maybe I walk in, I feel it's time, but I know I'm short of dime.
Maybe I walk in, I feel it's time, but I know I'm short of dime. It's so simple, but it hits.
It does. And notice the rhymes there. Store, soar, time, dime. It's so accessible. He's not trying to be some complex poet. He's just trying to communicate a very basic human frustration. I'm ready, but my wallet isn't.
So he's hustling. He's saving his dimes. But where does the magic actually happen? He can't afford a studio. He clearly can't afford that guitar yet.
He goes to his sanctuary, the garage.
Now, in the story, this place is cramped and filled with clutter. This is not some high-tech setup.
Not at all. It's probably dusty, hot, full of boxes. But this is where that electric dream story gives us this beautiful detail about his mindset.
What's that?
It says that in that cluttered garage, Elijah imagined dancers explode in a burst of energetic hip-hop.
Wait, so the dancers weren't there?
Not yet. This is all visualization. He was seeing the fame before it happened. He's playing to an empty, messy garage, but in his head,
He's seeing choreography. He's seeing a production.
that's the definition of manifestation. He's strumming his guitar, probably sitting on some old junk, but he's hearing a stadium.
That's what kept him going, I bet. If he only saw the clutter, he might have quit, but he saw the dancers.
But, visualization only gets you so far. He needed a catalyst. He needed the rest of the world to see what he was seeing.
And that catalyst came from the most random place, a tourist.
A young woman just passing by while he was busking. And here's the crucial detail.
What is it?
Elijah was so lost in his dreams, he didn't even notice the significance of the moment.
So he didn't stage it? He didn't ask her to like and subscribe?
No, he's just playing and she records him, and I think that's why it works so well.
What do you mean?
Well, if he had been posing for the camera, if he'd been trying to go viral, people would have smelled the inauthenticity a mile away. But because he was just lost in his dreams, the video felt real. It felt like a discovery.
That is such a key distinction. Authenticity wins. And then the explosion.
The narrator paints this amazing picture of that night in the garage. Usually the air is filled with guitar strums. But that night,
Relentless mobile notifications.
the soundscape of his life physically changed. It went from music to just buzzing. The video had performed extremely well.
Can you imagine? You're sitting there, maybe feeling defeated, and your phone just starts vibrating and refuses to stop.
The narrator calls it the gift of the universe, and very quickly, the story shifts from the street corner to the boardroom. A music label signs him.
Which leads to him finally holding that electric guitar, the one from the window. The transition is complete.
From short of dime to a signed artist, it's a whirlwind.
Okay, I want to pause the story for a second and really dig into the song itself, because there's a lyric here that I think people are getting wrong, and frankly, it's been bugging me in the comments sections.
You're talking about the bag of bean.
The bag of bean. The chorus goes, "All I need is a garage guitar and a bag of bean." Now, when I first heard this, and I think a lot of people did too, I thought, is he hungry?
All right. Is he talking about a bag of kidney beans?
Is he making chilies in the garage? What's happening?
It is a really common misconception. And honestly, without the source material, it's a fair guess.
Yeah.
But if we look at the Elijah's Electric Dream text, the bag of bean is absolutely not a grocery item.
Thank goodness.
It refers to the beanbag chair he sits on.
Aha, the furniture.
Exactly. The narrator mentions his cramped garage turned rehearsal space. The bag of bean is his humble comfort zone. It's his seat. He doesn't need a fancy studio chair.
That makes so much more sense. It's about the minimal requirements for his art. He's saying, I don't need luxury, I just need a place to sit and play.
Precisely. It grounds the song. If he were asking for beans to eat, it would be a song about survival, which is tragic. But asking for a beanbag, that's a song about creative space.
It's cozy, it's a quirky detail that makes them so relatable.
And it just works so well with the rhyme. Mean, green, bean, it's poetic license at its finest.
Speaking of green, let's look at the bridge. This is where I think the song pivots philosophically.
It does. Up until now, it's been all about the lack of money.
Yeah, but the bridge lyrics go, someday when the lights are mine, prices will be lost in time.
That is a powerful line. Prices will be lost in time. He's realizing that this whole struggle over dimes and greens is temporary. It's a finite problem.
And he follows it with dreams are more than dimes and green.
And that is the thesis statement of the whole project. He starts the song begging money not to be mean, but by the bridge he transcends it. He realizes the dream itself, the burning heart, is worth more than the currency.
Let's hear that shift. Here's the bridge.
Someday when the lights are mine, prices will be lost in time. Dreams are more than dimes and green.
Dreams are more than dimes and green. I feel like that should be on a t-shirt or something.
It's his aha moment. He stops fighting the lack of money and starts celebrating the abundance of passion. It's a shift from a scarcity mindset to an abundance mindset.
Even before the money actually arrived.
Exactly.
So we've got the story, we've decoded the lyrics, no chili, just furniture. Now let's talk about the visual payoff, the music video.
Yes.
Because we spent so much time talking about the garage, the video feels like the answer to a prayer.
It's the direct answer to the garage dreams. It's the visual manifestation of everything that was in his head. He's no longer in the clutter. He is bathed in light. Center stage.
And he finally has the guitar.
The electric guitar. The one that was behind the glass. It's in his hand now. He acquired the target.
And remember those imaginary dancers he saw in the garage?
They're real now. The narrator describes their movements as sharp and synchronized. It's a direct callback. The video was basically showing us the inside of Elijah's mind from back then, but now it's projected onto a real stage.
That is so satisfying to watch. You know, sometimes music videos are just abstract nonsense, but this one feels like a victory lab.
It is. And the musical style plays a huge part in that satisfaction. The narrator describes it as having a reggae rhythm.
Yeah, it's got that offbeat chop. It's laid back.
Yeah.
But why choose reggae for a song about being broke?
I think it's a brilliant juxtaposition. Usually songs about financial stress are the blues, right?
They're sad or they're angry.
But this, it's infectious. It's upbeat. It creates this dissonance where the lyrics say, I'm stressed, but the music says it's all going to be okay.
It's optimistic. It's not wallowing.
Not at all. And Elijah's performance, his voice is clear and strong. And he beams at a roaring crowd. He looks happy. He looks validated.
There's that moment in the story where he waves at the crowd.
Yes. The ending shot. He waves, and the text says he realizes the universe heard him, and it's a payoff for us, the viewer, because we know where he came from.
We know about the walking to save pennies. We know about the garage.
So seeing him wave from a clean, shining stage, it feels like we won too.
Which brings us to the entertainment quotient. Why does this work so well? Why are we all watching it?
I think it comes down to relatability packaged in simplicity.
Talk to me about the simplicity.
Look at the rhymes again. Mean, bean, green, clean, scene. Their single-syllable rhymes makes the song an instant earworm. It's almost nursery rhyme, simple, but for adult problems.
It doesn't try to be too smart. It just tries to be true.
Exactly. And the vibe balances that stress of, hey, money, don't be mean with that hopeful tempo. It asks for a break, but it does it with a smile.
Let's sing, I'm broke right now, but just you wait.
Tomorrow I'll slay. As the lyrics say,
tomorrow I'll slay. I love it. Let's listen to the final chorus. This is the victory lap version.
So, hey money, don't be mean. All I need is a burning heart, guitar, and a stage shining clean.
Did you catch the change there?
Yes. In the beginning, he needed a garage and a bag of bean. Now
he needs a burning heart, guitar, and a stage shining clean.
He leveled up. He traded the beanbag for the stage.
But he kept the guitar. The guitar is the constant. The tool is the same. Just the environment got an upgrade.
Man, what a journey. From checking his pockets outside a music store to that electric dream of synchronized dancers in a roaring crowd.
It's really a testament to the power of holding on to a vision. The story emphasizes that while dreams do cost money, you need the guitar, you need the stage. The actual drive comes from that burning heart.
Money is just the fuel. The heart is the engine.
That's a beautiful way to put it. Elijah didn't wait for the money to start dreaming. He dreamed first, and the opportunity it caught up with him.
And the bag of bean was there to support him until the stage was ready.
Never forget the importance of a good beanbag chair, the unsung hero of this story.
Absolutely. Essential studio equipment. Every creative needs a safe place to sit and imagine their own dancers.
So, as we wrap up, I want to leave you with a thought. We live in an age where a moment of sudden visibility recorded by a stranger can change a life overnight. Elijah went from the sidewalk to the studio in the blink of an eye.
It's the modern fairy tale. The speed is unprecedented.
It is. But here's the question. Does the speed of that fame help artists like Elijah keep their authenticity? Or does it put too much pressure on that first bag of beans moment? When you skip the 10 years of playing empty bars and go straight to the stadium, can you keep the burning heart?
That is the big question. When the notifications start drowning out the guitar strums, can you keep playing the same tune? It's a challenge every suddenly visible artist face.
Something to think about the next time you scroll past a busker on your feed. Maybe stop and listen. You might be the tourist in someone else's electric dream.
And maybe the real takeaway isn't about making it big, but about giving your dream a place to sit before the world decides whether it matters.
Go watch the video. See if you can spot the transitions we talked about. Thanks for diving deep with us.
Catch you next time.